Black Summer is a prequel series to Z Nation, although you wouldn't think it because this series pretty much lacks all of the comedy and nonsense that occurs in the main show, and instead chooses to show you just how terrifying these zombies are and how much of a struggle it is to try and survive in a country overrun by them. If you get bitten by these zombies, then you'll usually transform in a few hours, maybe even a day, and in a similar vein to The Walking Dead, this virus can reanimate you after you die even if you aren't bitten, with the process ranging from a few minutes to just several seconds. Once a zombie, these things will sprint at you full force and without hesitation, requiring extreme head trauma to kill. They do not require food, water or sleep, and it can take years of decomposition for their bodies to become so damaged they can no longer run. On top of the fact that their eyes, smell and hearing are being fully committed to hunting you down and killing you, with said zombies possessing enough intelligence to find alternate paths if an obstacle is in their way. This first season of the show focuses on just how confusing and disorganizing it would be to try and evacuate civilians and fight off these types of zombies, as well as the complete powerlessness most people would feel lacking any sort of effective weapons, skills or knowledge to try and fight these things. The opening episode starts with the army trying to evacuate a suburbs area to try and take hiding civilians to an evacuation zone, but when a survivor is found with a bite wound and more zombies appear in the area, they disembark. This causes the rest of the survivors left behind to start panicking, desperately trying to flee for survival and causing either themselves or others to get killed through reckless actions, causing even more zombies to infest the area. This opening scene is just terrific and really sets the tone for the rest of the series. The army is trying but have no idea how to effectively handle the situation and save everyone. Everyone else is unarmed and desperately trying to live, and therefore mostly just panic and fuck things up. And the zombies are so nightmarish that every plan made that isn't barricade yourselves up and be as quiet as possible usually just gets thrown out the window, because these things will ruin whatever it is you're trying to do. Another aspect of this is that the area is very large, everywhere is trying to evacuate, and everyone has the chance to get infected. As the main characters travel towards the city where the stadium is being used as a quarantine zone, there are times where they will come across streets, even entire sections of the towns and city that are just empty, either because the civilians have been evacuated or the infected are left to chase new prey. This also means that the survivors have no idea what might be waiting ahead of them on their journey. They might flee from a zombie infested area, come across a relatively quiet zone that has been occupied by the military, and then once they push on they'll come across another area behind the military blockade that is crawling with zombies, either because someone died and the infection spread from them, or because the military can't cover the whole area, and therefore these zombies manage to slip past them into the safer zones. Overall, these zombies are absolutely terrifying in every regard, with all of their scenes being a sign that things are about to get serious, and any relief that the survivors might have felt is going to go out the window. So now that we have the main catalyst and world building of the show settled down, let's take a look at the characters and the story. The primary story of the season is about a group of survivors living in the suburbs area of the city, desperately trying to reach a nearby stadium that is being used as an evacuation point and safe zone, viewing it as the only point of salvation that they have a chance of reaching. As they begin their journey to reach the stadium, they'll come across a wide range of obstacles and events that will challenge them physically, mentally and morally, forcing them to do whatever it takes or risk losing everything, whether that be dealing with psychopaths that wish to harm them or trying to steal weapons from a gang hideout. We also see a bunch of different characters from diverging backgrounds that all have to trust each other in order to survive. For instance, while most are just trying to get to the stadium in order to survive, Rose is trying to get to the stadium to find her daughter Anna, who was put on one of the evacuation trucks by the military. She has very little survival experience and no combat training, but due to these circumstances is forced to lead the group further into the city, becoming more comfortable with killing and making hard choices as time goes on, desperately trying to reach her daughter. Contrast this with people like Sun and Ryan. Sun is a very small and physically weak individual who, on top of having no plans besides run away, also cannot speak English, being South Korean, and therefore despite trying to be a good person and de-escalate situations, usually must just go with the flow, as she has no way of discussing plans and personal feelings with anyone. Meanwhile Ryan, while in a better shape and generally able to communicate a bit better due to understanding body language, is also deaf, meaning when even trying to be empathetic with others has to keep his guard up so as to not be taken by surprise, constantly needing support from other characters in order to stay alive. The narrative beats of the episodes and how they're shot is also well done. Every episode has a collection of small chapters throughout, with each chapter usually being named after a character, and then we will follow said character's point of view until it reaches the next chapter or the episode ends. One common thing that is used is it will show a series of events occurring, and then it will come back to the same events but showing us a different point of view. One of the earliest examples of this is in the first episode when everyone is trying to run away. Ryan sees a woman has been run over and her partner has left her to slowly die in the street, with Ryan trying to comfort her before Sun forces him to run away before she becomes a zombie. Later in the episode we see how the woman got run over and then infected after Ryan leaves, with the now zombified woman running around the estate and introducing one of the other main characters of the show. Another good example is when the group raid an underground nightclub to steal weapons from a gang that runs it so they're armed enough to reach the city centre. As everyone has different jobs to do during the heist, they all split up to try and follow the plan, and we see how the survivors react when they try and meet back up with each other as everything goes to shit. Go. Another aspect that surprised me when I first watched it is the amount of long shots present in the episodes. Obviously you still have a lot of scenes in each episode where the camera will cut around and focus on different characters and points of interest during the same scene. But there's also a lot of times when the camera will start rolling on a scene and it'll just keep going for a few minutes before cutting to a different shot. And it's not just with easy to shoot scenes such as a car slowly driving down a deserted street or characters sat around talking. There's scenes of characters fleeing for their lives and fighting zombies that last for several minutes, involving a lot of physical choreography and props being destroyed. And it's pretty good to see how much effort the actors and directors put in to have all of it happen in one long take. Overall, Season 1 of Black Summer offers a pretty realistic look at how the early days of a vicious zombie apocalypse would affect society, showing confusion, incompetence, and shrugging of morals in order to survive, and I would highly recommend you check this out for yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, lads and lasses. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing and checking out some of my other videos. Sharing always helps, and if you're feeling really generous, please consider my Patreon or YouTube membership. I also have a Twitter and occasionally I do live streams. But most of all, I just hope you had a great day and hopefully I will see you in the next video.